start off, my name's David Huber. I'm a 1998 graduate of Kentucky. So it's been a little while, but I actually am very happy to be here. It's fun, exciting for us to be able to get back and connect with all of you. I was able to go on campus this past summer with my nephew, who's still choosing between Kentucky and one other school. So we'll push him that way. But so much has changed. It's still a beautiful campus. And anyway, just excited to be here and just share with all of you a little bit about Kroger, a little sneak behind the curtain. I think when you think about Kroger, most of you probably think about that's where you may go and hopefully get your groceries and things like that. But we'll give you a little glimpse into so much more that Kroger is involved in and that you may not thought about before. So that's me, and I'll pass it over to Andrea.
Hi, everybody. My name is Andrea Worland. I'm a category manager for Kroger and also a University of Kentucky alum. Graduated undergrad in 2009, got my master's in business in 2011. The years just seem like they fly by. I was a hall director for a hall that isn't even there anymore. So there's a lot of changes from the campus. But excited to share with you guys today our passion and our love for Kroger, and hopefully we teach you a few things you didn't know about along the way. Ryan, off to you.
Thanks, Andrea. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ryan Schreck. It's awesome to be with you here today. I love doing these. I love sharing about what we're doing at Kroger, what we're doing in technology, and how this little grocery store we call Kroger is doing a lot of cool things. So, bit of my background, I've been with Kroger for about 18 years. I did start through the intern program, so I'm very fond of staying engaged there, but I've also had about 4 or 5 different major career changes during my time and got to do a bunch of really neat things. I don't have a background from UK, but I'm hoping if I do well enough today, you can make me an honorary alum of sorts. But I do have, I did my undergrad at the University of Cincinnati and then Xavier University for my MBA studies. And back over to you, Dave, I believe.
All right. Yes. Thanks, Ryan. And yes, I think we can hook up on that.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead and first slide. So just real quickly, we'll go over just some high level things here. But really, we just ended our fiscal year for 2020. And of course, as you can imagine, things were a little crazy with COVID and all the things that happened along the way. But a real quick, just financial recap. We ended up the year at over 14% identical sales growth. Now, to kind of put that into perspective, we're kind of more used to seeing anywhere from 2 to 5%, and is a really good year. When you look at same store sales, so you know that with COVID and everything that happened, to have 14% ahead is really, really strong. And really that's, on top of that, you're looking at $26 billion for our brands, which includes the Kroger brand products, Private Selection, Simple Truth, and all those our brand banners. So I think if you put that in perspective, it would be one of the largest companies even on its own when you look at what we call a CPG. So it's a huge for us as a company and a huge competitive advantage. Digital sales. So we got into the digital world just a few years ago, but our digital sales were up 116%. So you know that's partially due to the way people are wanting to shop now. And then really, Kroger reinvested $2.5 billion support and safeguarding of associates and customers. So when you go into the Kroger stores, you see the stations with the hand sanitizer and the plexiglass around the cashiers and the stickers on the floor and the masks that they hand out. So there's a lot of things that Kroger has done to try to help keep everybody safe along the way. Okay. So talking about really, this is kind of a model of way we envision ourselves in our future, is how do our customers want to shop? So traditionally, you can see brick and mortar. So that's your typical Kroger store on the corner there on Euclid Avenue, the store I started at. So that's brick and mortar shopping in a store. And it really, I think back to when I did start at that store, it was 1996 as a cashier, and I started there because I could walk there from my house and I didn't have a car. So little did I know I'd end up 25 years later as a career. At that time, I never would have imagined the other things on the screen where you could order online and pick up your order from a store or have it delivered to your house. I mean, there's just so much there, and then really ship. So may or may not know this, but we actually have something called Kroger Ship, where we can ship staple items directly to your house. So that's really about how does our customer want to shop, and can we fulfill those needs any way they want to do it. So some of our partnerships, and then we're going to get into some of the detail on this here shortly. But some of the cool things in our partnerships. So one of them we'll talk about, and I think it was on the advertisement for this tech talk. On the top left there, you'll see Neuro, which is the self-driving cars. We actually are in a partnership with Neuro. We're testing these self-driving cars that deliver groceries to your door. I think we tested in the Scottsdale, Phoenix market, as well as Houston, Texas. So we're excited about that. We got a little short video to play here in a little bit. That'll expand on that a little bit. And then on the top right, you see the Walgreens at Kroger. That's actually the project that I'm working on. Two of our pilot markets, we have Northern Kentucky and then Knoxville, Tennessee. So I'm actually in Knoxville, Tennessee right now to check up on the stores. But you have basically remodeled the inside of Walgreens, partnering with them, inserted now inside the Walgreens as a Kroger Express. So basically imagine half of the footprint of the inside of the store being rebranded, remodeled to basically be all the best things that Kroger has to offer, dry goods and perishables. It's also a secondary location for customers to pick up their Kroger pickup order, their online order. So in those markets, when you create that list, you will see Walgreens pop up as an option to where you can pick up your online order. And then Stuckert. So that's the company that goes and they do the grocery shopping for you, and then they drive it right to your house. And then on the bottom right, so you can see it says Ocado, and we're going to get into that one a little more as well. That's pretty cool stuff. We're talking about really automated warehouses that pick orders to get shipped directly to customers' homes, and building these Ocado partnership with Ocado, who's actually a grocery retailer on the UK, not University of Kentucky, but in across the pond. But they actually have these really cool technology that we're partnering with them to build these warehouses across the country. We've got some more detail in the video on that as well. So our first site is in pilot mode right now, right in the north side of Cincinnati. So we're excited about that. And then Home Chef. So it's, there's lots of these companies out there that have restaurant style culinary delivered to your door. There's multiple of them, but one of the biggest ones is Home Chef, and Kroger actually acquired Home Chef a couple of years ago. But they can not only have that product shipped to your door, but you can also pick it up in many of our stores. I thought the one on the bottom left is pretty cool. The N-Farm. This is some tests going on in some stores in different markets where they're actually growing product inside of our stores to sell. And then I was hoping here, Brian, I think you know a little more about Loop than what I do. If you wanted to just jump in and take a little bit on Loop, would be appreciated.
Yeah, I think we actually have a slide here in a second, a little bit more about Loop, but really the sustainability and some of the packaging and how we're focused there, that not only do you get the products that you want and you have the convenience of the different channels to shop with us, but there's also a big mind towards how we're serving both our community as well as ensuring that we're making sustainable practices a part of our everyday business.
Very good. All right, next slide. All right, so Neuro. So basically you can see the little view of the vehicle there. Let me minimize my window so I can see when they're writing there. So unmanned delivery will be a game changer for local commerce, and together we're thrilled to test this new delivery experience to bring grocery customers new levels of convenience and value. So that's Neuro. So I think they're based based out of Palo Alto, California. Really cool technology. And we've actually had this going now for a couple of years. I went to Scottsdale last year for a wedding, and I was so hoping I could find one of those that I would see it actually happen, but I didn't get a chance. But pretty neat, pretty cool stuff out there. Is the video on the next slide, Ryan?
Yeah, we'll go, the next slide will show you a little bit more of a quick video as we transition over. Please raise your hand or shout out if you're not hearing sound. We tested, but of course something always tends to happen when you do it live. So here we go.
Very, very cool. Again, I'll go back to, if I'd have thought back when I first started with Kroger and working at that Euclid Avenue store in Lexington, that we would have self-driving cars delivering groceries that I ordered on the internet, I thought you're crazy. So that's really neat. So Kroger Loop, again, products available on Loop platform or packaged in reusable glass or metal containers and shipped directly to customers in a specially designed tote. Once used, products are retrieved through a free at-home pickup and cleaned, refilled, and reused, creating a first of its kind circular packaging system. So I think, again, that's probably one of those that the video will tell a lot more than the words, but I think that's on the next slide.
Yeah, we've got another one teed up here. Here we go.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Ryan. Really cool stuff. Delivery. So we talk about, we talked a little bit about Instacart already. Shipped works very similarly. Basically, you choose which way you want it delivered, create the order online, and the partner that we have will then handpick the product, and they'll deliver right to your store. I've actually done it a few times. one of the things that I like about it is, as they're shopping, if there are questions, whatever, they can actually contact you directly. So that's really neat as well. So I know for during the last year, many people that I know who maybe in the past maybe would have been hesitant to try that, or even to try to do the Kroger pickup, have all tried it and now they're in a routine where they're kind of addicted to it. So. Kroger Fulfillment Centers. Kroger Fulfillment Centers powered by Ocado. This was a really cool one. Automation and artificial intelligence service online grocery orders. The fulfillment centers will support our vision to create a seamless customer experience and expand the footprint of Kroger products. 20 of these fulfillment centers will be opening across the country. So I mentioned before, but we have the one going up right now in Mason, Ohio, up north of Cincinnati. That's the very first one, but there are lots of different locations and going into markets where we don't currently have brick and mortar stores. So that's a really cool one as well. So we can actually start supplying an area of the country that we don't currently have stores, or think about, areas even within cities where there might be a bit of a food desert, being able to solve for some of those things by using Ocado. So this is a really exciting partnership that we've created. All right, so there's some of the locations. So Monroe, Ohio, which is north of Cincinnati. Groveland, Florida, which is the very next one. So it's going to open here in the spring. Very, very excited about Florida. It's a market that Kroger isn't currently in, and we're excited to get in the market. So you can see all the other ones: Maryland, Georgia, Texas, Wisconsin, Missouri, Michigan. You can see Arizona. So there's a lot more coming. Like I said, total of 20 all in all. So that's going to cover most of the U.S. footprint.
Hey, Dave, I just wanted to add a comment on this part. I think it's interesting that most of you are probably familiar with Kroger, and especially down on campus. But as you get into some of these markets where consumers don't know who Kroger is, the marketing strategy is completely different than anything we've ever done before, because you're reaching new households, you're doing print ads, you're doing ads on the delivery trucks, you're doing uniforms for the drivers, you're doing billboards, all of these different things to let customers know, hey, Kroger's coming to town, here's how you can shop with Kroger. So it's an interesting way, if any of you are interested in marketing or anything in that regards, to look at it through the lens of where you're already in market, to how do you reach new households, and starting from scratch and getting to see that marketing plan from 0 to 100 is just crazy. So very interesting.
Absolutely. Good, nice color on it. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll jump in here a little bit and we'll dig into the what we call our Kroger technology and digital department. And it's interesting, when I started at Kroger a number of years ago, and I had a mother that worked as a florist as I was in high school at Kroger, and I always thought it was it was our grocery store down the street. And as I got to learn more and more about what really makes this large grocery company run and why does it do it, it's continued to fascinate me over and over again. And there's nothing more exciting to me than to be able to walk through and see how we serve millions of customers every day that come in our stores, and try to provide the same fresh products and try to make sure that they're available when you're in the store, or in this case, now starting to get them to you shipped directly to your home or available to carry out through our pickup. And so our Kroger technology and digital team is really a key part of us doing this. And we will run all of the technology systems that range from how we run our business. As you heard a minute ago, some of the marketing, some of the tools that need to sit beneath our marketing and merchandising functions, all the way to how do we engage with customers digitally through mobile apps, online. And then some of the most fascinating parts is how do we continue to use the data that we have about our business to best serve our customers. And again, to make sure that we give them the fresh products they want, that are available when they're there with us shopping or shipped to their house. So when you look at our simple little grocery business, there's a whole lot more to it when you actually dig in. So I'll talk a little bit more on this slide and a few others about when we engage and we're looking for talent, what are we typically looking for? What kinds of majors or backgrounds really come into focus as we look for technology talent. Why Kroger Technology and Digital is a place you would want to consider working at if you're looking for a technology career. And then a little bit towards the end about how it's not just about being a great technologist, but really about understanding grocery and having that same passion to serve our customers. So when you look at on the left-hand side at the opportunities that we offer, like many, we are striving to have really deep, technically minded individuals that also combine with a really great product focus. And by product, I mean, what are the technology solutions that we are building or putting out to serve our associates and our customers? So you'll see a wide range of opportunities from the programming and developing, engineering roles, all the way to those that are focused on process improvement, as well as our business processes. Each area of our business, we have to be closely partnered with and connected with to make sure that the technology is best serving their needs. So when we go on campuses and we're looking at different universities, you see a number of majors that we will typically focus in on, from your CS or computer science and engineering, down to an increased focus on cybersecurity. And then certainly, as I mentioned, you can't just know technology, you have to understand the business landscape as well. So we'll make sure that the different business analytics, as well as some other business disciplines, we're exploring those areas as well. So, why Kroger Technology and Digital? And if you look at some of our efforts to compete not only for our customers, but to also compete for talent, we've made it a point to talk a little bit more about what we're doing, because we think we're doing some really great, innovative things. And if we don't talk about them, then like I did starting off, people are going to think, well, I just get my groceries. I just go there to get my bread, my milk, and the staples that I need, and a few other things. But we actually are doing a whole lot more besides that. And so we've started to tell our story a lot more. And one of the things we're most proud of is continuing to be a part of Computer World's top 100 places to work in IT. And we've been given that award for multiple years running now. Recently, we've also started to make sure that we give accolades to our intern program. And it's amazing the type of accessibility you have to our executive leadership team and what you get to learn from them, even as an intern, where you end up interacting with them quite a bit, understanding what their roles are, but also what their departments do and deliver for our customers. And then last, I would say, as we talk about how to engage, and we usually talk about coming for a job and staying for a career. And you can start to see that in the breadth and diversity of what Kroger offers, not just in technology and digital, but when you go beyond that and you start to look at if you want to start to branch out into merchandising, marketing, certainly our retail operations. You heard about our manufacturing presence earlier, and how our efforts there are really pretty substantial, and we're one of the largest CPGs. You look at some of our brands that are some of the largest, most well-known in the food industry, and you really start to see that there's opportunities to go both deeper into technology as well as to branch out into other disciplines. So when we dig in a little bit deeper to what is the KTD internship program, and I'm a little bit jealous because when I came through the program, I don't think we quite had the bells and whistles that we had today. But there is a group of folks that work really hard to make sure that this experience is a great experience. And it's not just, I'll say, tacit work or work on the side to just earn a paycheck. We truly want to make sure that you get a good sense of what Kroger is about, what makes Kroger work, and that it would be a great fit or an opportunity for you to pursue a career here in the future, as well as it helps us understand where different talents and skills can be maximized. So we will typically look through these traditional summer internship season, if you will, for what will be a 2 to 3 month period of time. We engage with a large number of universities, not just in Cincinnati, obviously, but regionally, and we're continuing to expand that footprint. Those candidates, as they start to come in, we will position them with each of the different areas of our technology business that really match up with their interests and some of their skill sets. I usually like to ask, and I think it's most important, where do you want to go next? What do you enjoy studying? What do you enjoy learning about? Because I can understand then those that want to pursue a data analytics role versus somebody that says, I really love engineering and I want to go build new systems and new products. So I think we spend a lot of time working to make sure that there's a great fit for your skill set as well as the internship. And whether you choose to make a career out of Kroger or not, I think you leave with a lot of great insights in terms of skills that then travel with you in future roles. So like all of our positions and opportunities, you can take a look at jobs.kroger.com. If you search on technology there, you'll find all of the open internships as they're available. They come up and, you know, again, as I kind of look back through my own history and journey, you know, starting off as an intern, I didn't really know that I was going to get the opportunities that I have today in terms of new challenges, growth in terms of learning new technologies, but also the ability at the end of the day to service our customers and our communities. And for me, that's been a big motivator because I will do a lot of the shopping in our house as well. And when I enter our Kroger stores and I see that I'm interacting with my neighbors and friends in my community, it adds a lot of value to me in terms of knowing what I'm doing is better serving them. So that's why Kroger has continued to be a great place for me to work and certainly continues to be full of challenges. So I think in terms of just general content, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing at this point. I think we've gone through all of the content that we prepared, but I certainly would love for us to be able to open it up for any questions. Dave, Andrea, anything else you want to add?
Nothing on my end that I can think of other than just, you know, I'll say this. I think I kind of hit on it earlier and you have as well, but I think just not just a technology standpoint, but that's a big part of what we're talking about today. Yeah. You know, and really you mentioned the intern program and really that didn't exist when I was in school. That would have been huge if that had been the case. But I think just understanding how much goes into just what you see in the brick and mortar or what you see when you open the Kroger app on your phone or you place that pickup order. But what it really does take behind the scenes to do all the things that Kroger does and get just the food on the shelves. It's a pretty massive undertaking. So the opportunities of the Kroger not only exist in many different categories, but they're all over the country. So I have friends that I've worked with that have moved to all kinds of different places. We have Southern California and Denver, Colorado, and the East Coast and everywhere you can think of. We have division offices all over the country. We have manufacturing plants. We have just opportunities that you have probably never thought of when you think about Kroger. So it's one of those companies that most people may think about as a simple grocery store, and it is anything but that. And tremendous amounts of opportunities, and you'll never grow bored in a company like Kroger. I can guarantee you that. So just challenge you to think about that when you do go. You know, I don't know if any of you are, you know, not local to the Midwest, but if you think about like going out west or some of those, we have many different banners that we operate under. So like the West Coast, you have Ralph's. You probably have heard of Ralph's if you have been to California. You've got King Soopers out in the Denver area. You've got Food for Less. You have just many different ones. So as you look across the country, look different than what you might think of as like a Walmart. Walmart is Walmart, it's coast to coast, all over the world. Kroger has over time bought up different grocery chains and a lot of times keeps that local name, all part of the Kroger family. So lots of opportunities and kind of a similar story to what Ryan said. You know, I've had the opportunity to do things I never thought I'd be able to do with Kroger when I started, and including the project I'm working on now. So you never know just from that part-time job as a cashier what it can lead to. But there are many others in this company that have stories like mine and like Ryan's that could be you. So just, you know, wanted you to just call that out and share that with you. I think Andrea had to jump off for just a minute, so if she's not back yet, she may not have anything yet.
Wonderful.
Are there any questions from the group?
Yep, give a moment for questions.
Anything you want us to dig deeper on, you want to learn more about?
I always like to give a minute before I jump in. Oh, but it looks like we have a question from the audience. Sarah wants to know, how important is a graduate degree like an MBA? Does Kroger have?
All right, Dave. Well, I think at least in terms of content, unless there's other questions for me, I think we've covered what I have to share today, at least from a technology perspective. I always do lead the group. If you want to connect via LinkedIn, I'm always a fan of connecting with students in that way. I stay pretty active in terms of our internship programs and supporting those. So always happy to connect with you offline as well, to be able to support you in whatever way or share a little bit more about Kroger.
Awesome. Ryan, can you hear me okay? Okay. I think Ryan's having some technical issues.
Dave or Rachel, I think back over to you.
Yep, I think we're having some
Okay.
technical issues.
Yep, I think so as well. Rachel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you possibly message Ryan? I don't know that he's seeing the chat either.
You may have lost Rachel as well.
Oh, Ryan, can you hear me? I think Ryan is not able to, I think he's not able to hear us. So David's going to message him now. So hold on 1 second for us, everybody.
So we'll see what he's able to hear here, but I'd be happy to field some of the questions.
Yeah.
So the first one was about the MBA.
Yep, first one's about the MBA. And does Kroger have a culture of encouraging further education?
So I would just say in two ways. Yes, I think obviously, the more that certainly helps you. But I would say I don't have the MBA, so I have my degrees in marketing. So that was something that I chose not to pursue. But I would say, had I wanted to, absolutely, Kroger does have a tuition reimbursement program as well. So yes, they're very encouraging on all those fronts. But I would say, is it required? No.
I was going to say, I can jump in there because I've had several talks with my boss. One of the really awesome things about working with Kroger is you work one-on-one with your supervisor, and every 3 months or so, you're sitting down talking to them face to face, and they're asking you, what are your goals? What are your aspirations? And they're truly committed to helping you reach those. So if you tell them, I'm interested in going this route, they will start trying to work to steer you towards that. And they may tell you, hey, you're going to need more education. There's been talks about that with some of as I've moved up in my career. So it's honestly, it's a case by case basis, but I've always seen Kroger supporting you as much as they can to help you be successful.
Yeah, great, Nick. Thanks for the color there. I agree, and I think too, there's a lot of internal, that Kroger does as well as far as training goes on different types of classes. But good question.
Hey, Ryan.
I think I'm back, and hopefully the sound's better.
Yeah. Can you
Yes.
hear us?
I can.
Okay, good.
And I couldn't a minute ago, and I thought everybody had just fallen asleep after a big lunch or something. But I'm back, and I see you're there.
Awesome. Well, we're just fielding some questions from the chat.
Yeah.
Right now, we actually just got to the MBA question and if Kroger has a culture of encouraging further education. I'm gonna and I apologize. I actually got kicked out of the meeting at one point when you were talking, Ryan. So all around some technical issues. But I want to take that further. It sounds to me like from what Nick was saying just a moment ago and what David has shared and what you shared, that Kroger really supports career growth and really supports career goals, as in if you wanted to be in a certain part of the company, you came in here, but you came in under this sort of department, but you want to go over here. How does that work? Like, say if a student gets an internship and then they want to move within the company, is that really encouraged?
From my experience, absolutely. And I'll tell you a couple of things that kind of highlight that. From an education perspective, as I weighed, like many, went into the workforce after my undergraduate. In my undergrad, I wasn't a traditional just IT or computer science. I was actually have a psych background, a psychology degree, added on an IT or an MIS degree in business. Took a few years at Kroger and then actually went back to school part-time for my MBA as I was continuing to work. And so, for me, I usually say that's the best example of how the company supports it, not only with the flexibility and time, but also the financial contributions that Kroger made for me to pursue my master's. And then in terms of advancement, I definitely say it's not a place where you learn new skills and you put them on the shelf. You take those skills, you're encouraged and frankly expected to translate those into making you better as well as the company better. And so we will create opportunities. As a technologist in the technology department, I've had a chance to work across merchandising and marketing, manufacturing. I've run all of our jewelry technology before. So again, when I talk about 4 or 5 different careers, it feels like within my time at Kroger, it truly has been that.
I have one more question if we don't have any from the audience. What kind of, and I think you went over this a little bit when I maybe cut out. So what is one of the most valuable experiences a student can bring to the table? Let's say if they're applying for a internship or a full-time job, what is Kroger, maybe from each of you, if Andrea is still here, maybe from each of you, what is the most valuable skill set a student can bring? And Ryan, I'd love to hear the tech side of that too.
I can start, just from an overall standpoint, and I think we touched on a little bit last time, is it's really about, we're in a business of people and we're in the business of customers. Our model really is about, finding the products they want, friendly and fresh. But the friendly part is really important. So I think from our standpoint, really it's about having a passion for people and bring that to your workplace every day. If you walk into an opportunity with Kroger and then say it's an internship and you don't know everything that we do, that's certainly okay. But it's all about having the right attitude, that you're wanting to learn, to enjoy being around people. So that, from my perspective, there's lots of things I can teach you, but if you have the right attitude and you're willing to learn and with people, that's going to go a long ways. We can teach you the rest.
Andrea, you still out there? Okay. From a tech perspective, I think building on what Dave said, absolutely, I would agree. Those are kind of transferable across the entire company and the culture. From a technology perspective, we're looking for folks that really, truly, and genuinely love the engineering aspects. They go really deep in terms of their technology understanding, their understanding of how to use data to drive decisions and better serve our customers. When you look at how we serve our customers with the variety of different promotions and offerings that we present them, we want to make sure we give you things as a customer that you actually want, that are based upon the products that you buy or you're interested in. So, we really try to do that with the spirit of serving our customers. And so we need folks that understand the data beneath that can help really guide some of those technology decisions. But at the end of the day, I would say the technology is great and all, but you have to also understand how it best services our associates and our customers. If you're working a long shift in the store, the last thing you want to be doing is having to take 10 steps to finish your day off with a piece of technology that isn't user-friendly. And when you're accustomed to many of the apps and devices and solutions you have that really are cutting edge. So we want to make sure you have a cutting edge experience both with your personal devices as well as with your time and working at Kroger, so that you're not having to focus on things other than servicing our customers and being the best associate that you can be.
Nick, I'm not sure if you want to add anything to that, but I want to give you some space too, if you would like to. And then anybody else have any questions, we'll take them after that.
Really, I mean, Ryan and they're all saying about the perfect thing. You're not going to come in knowing everything right off the top of your head. It's a great attitude. It's a willingness to learn. But one of the things that Kroger does, we say all the time that what makes us great is our people. And that doesn't just include the CEO. It goes all the way down to the person pushing the carts or the person stocking the shelves. Those are the people that are the front line. So when you're coming in as a technology or coming in as from the office or wherever you are, you're always trying to figure out what can I do to make their lives easier, to make it easier for them to serve the customer. Because again, at the end of the day, it's our customers that ultimately tell us how we're doing every day when they come visit us. So having that attitude, having that passion, that makes you'll be successful at Kroger.
Awesome. Well, if there aren't any other questions, I think we are going to just wrap things up today. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you to the Kroger team for dedicating your time and energy to meeting with us today. We really, really appreciate it. David, I'll send you this recording after, but thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And if you have any questions for the Kroger team, please connect with them on LinkedIn and go ahead and start networking.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.